Good evening. Usually at 6 p.m. here at the craft store, well, we launch a brand new one-day special. Not tonight. No. Tonight we are launching a monthly mega deal. And what a monthly mega deal it is, because it is, sort of a pink exclusive. Because we have got the amazing Couture creations, Go Power, you know, the machine that so many of us, we are lusting over, but in a brand new color, which is exclusive to here the craft store. Now, of course, I'm not on my own. I have got the die cutting extraordinaire who knows more about die cutting than, well, anybody else.
I'm sure I don't.
Hola. You do. Hola. Now, of course, John Lockwood. Now, John, you really do know a lot about die cutting, and I remember because when I used to watch you, and I have been working with die cutting companies, and I thought, finally, somebody who explains everything about die cutting so well, and you understand how everything works. Therefore, you are the best person to tell us why this machine is so special.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I have to understand why. And I think the main reason that the craft store asked me to do this show, because I always say this isn't Crafts 2 product, this isn't a John Next Door product, I do this for you. And the reason is, this is my Go Power and Emboss.
It is.
If you can see, it's lovely and clean. I've had this now for 2 years, 5 months.
Yeah.
We actually worked it out earlier. So I have had over we'll stick to 2 years because it's easier to say. I've had 2 years with this machine, 2 years with the plates, 2 years learning it. And as you say, I have to understand why. When we go back to but the very first dies available, the very first dies that were ever made, the wooden ones. I mean, if people can remember those.
I do.
I remember these, and well, you should. This is yours. This is Powerless. You know, I have to understand how they work and why they work for anything to go. And that's what I love about this machine, is I've had time to take you through it. So through the next 5 hours, I'm going to be able to answer, hopefully, any questions you've got, or if I don't know the answer, we'll work it out together on air.
This is the thing. They are live shows, so therefore, if you have got any questions about the machine, about how to make it work, if you have got the Go Power and Emboss beforehand, and you have got any questions, or you just want to say how much you love it, of course, you can studio at thecraftstore.com. This is a monthly mega deal. We are launching the brand new pink color in here. You can see the craft store pink, exclusive to us. Now, we chose this color because, of course, if you want to go for the, kind of the classic gold, which is the original color, we do have that one as well. But the pink is exclusive here at the craft store. Now, we need to tell you that, of course, the monthly mega deal, as either option, it's once it's gone, it's gone. So the stock is here in the warehouse at the craft store. There is no extended delivery, so you will have it dispatched ASAP. So no long to wait at all. Now, the other thing, of course, is the Go Power Emboss. Well, we have done some research. You know, of course, you do. And this is the lowest price we have been able to find it. So you are getting a fabulous deal on an even exclusive color. If you want to go for the classic gold, go for it. It's not, we are not telling you that to go for the pink if you don't want to. Of course, some of you may want to go for the classic gold, and you still have that lower price, that £10 saving. And also you have, of course, everything that comes with it is identical in the sense that you are getting all the plates that you need to do a variety of dies. And we will talk through what sort of dies, and embossing folders as well. 2 embossing folders are included, of course. So straight away you have got them there to work with, and then you are getting 30 dies, including the numbers, which are ever so useful. Now, if you want your monthly mega deal, well, 880282 is your item number. Now, already very busy. The pink is in the lead. And also, I should mention that not only you have got a flexi buy option, but you have got a flexi buy option of 3 interest-free payments, which means that you split the cost in 3 installments, which makes it so much easier because you are only paying £46.66 today, especially if you are a Freedom member, which means that that you don't pay P&P. And of course, that means that you open a flexi basket into 3 payments, so you can add other goodies in there and split the cost of those ones as well. Now, all the numbers out of the way. Now, let's get to John, and let's say, you know, I remember when you first got the Go Power Emboss.
Yeah.
It was like, it solved so many issues, didn't it?
It genuinely did. And I will say, you know, quite honestly, I chose to use my machine.
Yes, you
not
did.
A new
I remember.
machine.
Yes.
Yes,
you
and
did.
that's one of the things that I would say is whenever I watch somebody on TV selling a die cutting machine, they've got a brand new showroom model there to show you. Yeah, I'd rather show you what it's like after 2 years and that it works. I bought this. I paid for it. I paid more than you're charging.
Indeed.
And this was 2 years ago, which I'm quite shocked at. So it cost an awful lot more. So this is a machine, I'll take you through it. But the really important thing is the 2 problems that this solved for me, ignoring the pressure and how well it cuts and everything like that, to me is almost a gone. It's almost a given, is these are my original plates.
And traditionally, when we are talking about die cutting machines, the likelihood of those clear plates to bend, to have to replace, that's a lot. You know, it's a given. It's a given.
I use them. I was so impressed with this. I have 5 of these.
Yeah.
I had 5 of them.
Yeah.
I actually gave a spare one because we aren't doing workshops at the moment to one of my angels. But I had 5 of these because I was that impressed with it. And the reason was, I used to use a previous machine in the workshop and I was buying new plates every month.
You did, yeah.
Now, this is the one that I'd say is, so, these are my plates. And I've had these for 2 years.
Right.
And I've not changed them once. Now, if you see here, look, you know, these are not the cleanest, nicest, most beautiful plates in the world. But they work and they do the job and they are still completely flat. If I can try and show you that one there, you can see.
You can see, yeah. There is, what you can see is the scratches from the paper being crushed with the die, which is what happens.
Yeah. And so I've never cleaned them. This machine also travels with me everywhere.
Which is a very important thing, because if it travels, it should lose a little. If it was a lower machine or lower quality, it will lose a little bit of the tension and it wouldn't cut as well.
It will, because this is actually stored, I've got to be honest, this comes in my box like this.
Even though
it's tipped up that way because that's how it fits in. And this has been dragged in a box for the last 2 years, over 2 years, from home to shows at the NEC and everywhere like that, and to the craft store. And again, if you watch back on any Rewind show, I'm using this or my Kaleido on every show, and it's this model. But this is, I mean, this is, so the first thing with the plates, absolutely amazing.
A4 size.
A4 size. Well, in actual fact, it's actually slightly bigger.
Yeah.
And what it actually is this is more towards the letter size that they use in the US.
Yes, indeed.
But you'll notice that I'm just going to pop a die on. I'm going to use one of mine. This is the Advent Pot Box. And the reason I want to show this one is because this has got cut lines, perforation lines and emboss lines. So I want to show it all goes in one thing. But if you see, so there it fits on easily onto the A4. Yeah. There's still room on there. So if I've got a full A4 die like one of my card blank dies, I'm not having to make sure it's exactly, you know, normally they're like that and you don't have that extra edge. But the fab thing is when I take this to my machine, can you see, watch?
There is a little
There's room.
Yes.
And what that means is it's that little bit wider just in case you have got bigger letter paper from America, or just in case your metal shim, if you're using it, comes out one edge, or in case your sandwich is a little bit off like that.
Exactly, because that's the thing. And of course, we are talking about electrically powered, so you have got now the time to do something else.
Yeah. Go do what you want.
And
what it does is this is the fab thing. When it's finished, okay, it will continue running.
And there it
doesn't shoot out.
No.
But it doesn't switch off until this door at the back closes. Until you take out, there's actually...
It has got a back door.
It's got a back door. But I know this sounds weird, but look. If I put my thing in, it's about safety, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Whilst that door is open, the machine will run.
Yeah.
It cuts off when that closes. The only sensor is here.
Right.
There are no sensors inside, and the other fab thing is, look, I can't touch the rollers.
No. Which is
That's
safety.
still smooth.
It's much safer.
There are no the rollers are here, the height of the pressure where the beam is. But to show you the cut.
And the thing is, like, let's not beat around the bush. We need machines that are reliable.
We do.
Because we do so much die cutting, you do so much die cutting, you test dies on that as well.
I test every die on it. Basically, every sample I have made for the last 2 years, every demo I've done on air has been made on this machine or my Kaleido. That's it. But you can see here, that, so this is 2 years old, but so this is 300 GSM coated, because I don't like to make it easy. This is 300 GSM coated craft card, but watch. Look at the fold lines.
Wow.
I haven't embossed this. You've seen it cut live.
Yeah.
Every line crisp, even the small ones here for the tabs. Okay, and then these perforation lines here. Yeah. Each one of those has perforated perfectly. So this has had literally just the sandwich going through now. I've not glued down the top, so it's not going to hold, but I want to show you that is done in 30 seconds.
Wow.
But look how crisp every line is. And as I say, I'm not using a new one. So,
you know, there are some die cutting machines, and I'm like you, John. I love my die cutting. I have been loving it. I have had so many die cutting machines in my life. One of the things that you rely on is the strength of the pressure, but also the safety. But also, I like the fact that it doesn't jump around on the table.
No, it doesn't at all.
It's just there, nicely. The other thing I like as well about this machine is the fact that, like you were mentioning, the place, there is a little, if they are not stuck perfectly, you still can run them through.
If I go off like that, yeah? So can you see there on the, look how off I am with those plates, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to run that through. Because I've got the space. But that was the main thing. That was the first thing that encouraged me on this machine. It's cracking, it's brilliant, it does its job. I don't have to emboss a die, the lines are there. The second one is, I can use in this any die.
That was my next question, actually.
Have ever bought.
Now, because we had a question actually from Sandra about taking Sizzix big dies, those steel rule dies that, of course, some of us have loads of. And I believe the answer is yes, isn't it?
It is completely yes. So here's a standard Sizzix die. This is a Tim Holtz.
Yeah.
Let's grab another piece of this card. I'm just going to use my guillotine. I should have had card.
And of course, we are talking about the steel rule dies. So you may have from other manufacturers, like we have shown the wooden one. There were other manufacturers, the golden one.
There's lots of different brands do this. So this is your big dies. These are the ones that most people. I know a fellow demonstrator of mine.
Yes.
Who's actually, I had to message her last night and say they finally arrived in the warehouse because she wants one.
Yeah.
But she got rid of all of her big dies.
Oh, no.
When she started using the Grand Caliber because she knew she would never, they wouldn't go through. So do a big die. All you do is now, C-plate.
Yeah.
Big die.
Yeah.
Card on top, and then you need to use either a second C-plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you haven't got a second C-plate, you can use a 3mm plate from your Kaleido.
Oh, I see.
Or, so if you've only got this, and this is the fantastic thing. Most of the machines, I'll run this through and then I'll explain how it works. I want to show you how it works.
By the way, if you, of course, the machine comes with one of the C plates, but you may want to add the Kaleido plates as well. So the bottom of the screen for those ones, and that, of course, will give you a pair of the 3mm of the Kaleido plates. Now, of course, remember the monthly mega deal. 10%, over 10% of the exclusive pink has already gone, and 10% of the gold. Remember, this is a stock that should last a full month. This is not a one-day special that lasts 24 hours. No, this is a massive stock to last us a month. And also it is the cheapest, the lowest price that we could find online. Absolutely exclusive. The pink, and once it's gone, it's gone. So make sure to grab yours and check out your baskets.
So here is our big die cut.
Look at that.
Okay.
Perfect, yeah.
And what I want to do is I'll show you on this one. So your big dies or your big dies.
Right.
The only dies this won't take are your 12 by 12 dies for the Big Shop
Yes,
Pro.
yes, yeah, the Big Shop Pro, yeah.
Yeah, which I
Because
did
of
get
the
rid
size,
of
yeah.
because, yeah. So it will take even that large size. So, but what I want, this is one of the benefits. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut this big die in.
Mount board, or is it mount board?
Yeah, it is. It's not even grey board.
Yeah, no,
this is mount board.
Which is more dense, isn't it?
It is. It's a lot more dense than grey board.
It's more dense, but also it can have chalk contents. It can have all the particles. Like it's one of those ones that is hard to die cut.
Yeah, this is almost, to be honest, like a piece of wood.
Yeah, it is.
So don't think it's grey board. I will nick some grey board later and try that one on 8 o'clock. But this is, I tend to have mount board. Now this is the fantastic thing. When you've got an A4 electronic machine, and I've tried all of the ones on the market, I've bought them all at some point.
Indeed.
Or I've tested them before. And usually you get 2 sensors here and here.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
So you've got 2 sensors, and your plates have to hit those sensors to make it work. Yeah, okay. And that's how it engages. With this, Run engages it. So there are no sensors.
You press it,
I can take through a sandwich here. I've got 2 Kaleido plates, 3 mil here with my big die. Look, it's in the middle.
And that will make it faster as well, won't it?
Makes it an awful lot faster. So if you want to halve the time, if you've got the Kaleido or you get the Kaleido plates, and I shouldn't think about, I want to, be fair to people on the big die. So there you go. There's my mount board. And I can't explain how thick and dense this stuff is. Please be careful with these big dies. Remember, that is sharp in there.
And the other thing...
that's the difference. But there's no tearing or anything. But let's say I want to do, again in this one.
Because it makes sense to go for the Kaleido set of plates also, because not only it's faster, but also, I'll be honest, it expands the life of your plate, of everything. And I also think that it's so much easier to die cut the smaller pieces when you are into using a smaller plate. So I love that.
So I just want those cut. Yeah. But normally, if you can get them to fit through if you can get half-size plates to fit through your electric machines, which is very hard, you have to go that way and you have to get it right. No, stick that anywhere, Run.
So it means that
even half the time.
So even if you have got your piece of card that is bigger, you want to die cut it right on the middle, you could do that.
You could do that with this.
This is a fabulous machine. Also, I love the way that you can use. So you have die cut now so far mount board. You have die cut, of course, use big slice. You have to use the old AccuCut wooden ones. You are using wafer thin dies with. Look at the detail.
This is a 2-year-old machine. And in the centre of the machine with no shim, so there was no metal shim in this sandwich.
Tiny.
And you can see that these are my existing plates for my Kaleido because you can see where I've pressed leaves in it.
Right.
But this was going through the middle, look. How many times, and I've always said this, they'll tell you when they're selling you a die cutting machine that, it will keep its tension as long as you are using it. And I'm actually using 300 GSM coated cards, so a couple of these are going to stick a little bit, but they will come out.
They will come out,
but they'll tell you that it will keep its tension everywhere for as long as it's going. They don't. They ease over time like a mangle does.
And the other
But
thing,
if I'm hammering it and I can get that in the middle, then I'm genuinely impressed.
I mean, you're putting 3 dies kind of in parallel across.
In the worst place.
In the middle of the machine, because it's physics. I mean, physics means that the tension always is going to be stronger on either side. The fact that you're in the middle can get that cut means that even stronger on the sides. It means that you will have a fabulous cut every time. I was really impressed with the big box, because sometimes when you have got extra strength cutting, the embossing lines, what happens is they cut because you have got that superpower. Not so with the Go Power and Emboss. This is the fact that you will be able to use any dies that you have got no larger than an A4 in width. That means that your bakes, from Couture, all those wafer thin dies as well. Of course, you can see that it comes with their own wafer thin, ultra delicate dies in there as well. You are getting that. Of course, we haven't even talked about the lead, because that's important to me. Because of course, the power is of course for the UK, which then that way you know that is ready to go. Yeah, here's the power, and. Remember that it's ready to go when you get the die cutting machine. I love also, I have to say, I love the buttons, because it means that we have got the run. You can reverse as well, can you not?
You can, and this is, I just thought I'd show you, this is mount board with the original die.
Yeah.
This is the original wooden die. Is this 20 years old?
So
15?
it's exactly about 19 years old.
19 years old. Yeah. And that's gone through in the middle of mount board.
Wow.
So if you have got these, or you spot these on some of the selling sites really cheap, and I avoided them in the past because of the little lines on the outside, which looks like they've finished. Yeah. They don't.
They don't, yeah.
You can do that if you've got your originals dies for the red, do you remember the red hang thingy machine? Every die works. But as you say, the pressure is even.
Yes.
Yes, it goes, like anything, it will go in the centre, but after 2 years, I'm still using this, and the only thing I've had to change is to add in my metal shim.
Which it comes with.
Which is included, and the metal shim I will go through is seriously useful, but I've added that in to get it at first. So the sandwich, because I really think it's fair to show people.
Yeah, indeed.
The sandwich.
Can I say, well, we have had, of course, the Go Power Emboss. It's the machine of choice for so many demonstrators here at the craft store, and many of you have purchased it in the past and have left 5-star reviews. And some of them, I mean, we have got 84 5-star reviews, which we know. I mean, we only leave good reviews if we truly, truly love something, don't we? And to have 84, it says it all. I mean, excellent pressure, cuts, embosses beautifully, glides really well. Does what you hope for overall sizes and performs beautifully. A really useful machine at a good price. Takes deep dies, A4 dies, no need to turn a handle, just push the button. Lots of people loving the easy of use as well, and of course delighted with a machine that does everything that it says. And now, all the reviews, you can see them on the website, thecraftstore.com. There is 84 of those 5-star reviews. Remember, now we are launching the brand new exclusive color, but the machine itself, it has been, like John was saying, 2 years that he has had his. So he has got the experience, and we all know one of the hardest working people in the industry is John. I wish I could tell you how hard he works behind the scene in a ways, but he tests all the dies. And I know you, for instance, you have tested my dies that we have done before it goes into production. So every single die, it goes into testing and then making the samples. What he needs is what we all crafters need, is a machine that delivers with ease of use, but you can rely on it. That you don't have to hand crank, that you just press a button and it die cuts, delivers. That embosses beautifully throughout. There is no soft spots there. for the embossed design to kind of go funny. No, this is a reliable machine that gives you all that you need. An A4 electrical die cutting and emboss machine. The Go Power and Emboss from Couture Creation. Celebrating, of course, the launch of the brand new exclusive pink color here at the craft store. It is a monthly mega deal, so it's a massive stock, but already 10% of has already, over 10% has already gone. So make sure that you grab yours, check out those baskets, and remember to make use of that 3 easy pay. So of course that means that you can flexify them interest-free. £46 and 66 pence could be all you are paying today. 880-282 is your item number. Now, of course, you have got there a material that is notoriously difficult to die cut.
It is, yes. This is vellum. It's actually parchment.
Yeah.
This isn't your cheap
this is
vellum that I tend to use. This is a piece of proper thick parchment. Now, too much pressure will basically mean that these deboss lines on this die will cut. Too little pressure means it won't cut at all.
Exactly.
And I want to show you, go through the sandwich, and I want to show you, you know, what we get as a basic, and then what happens if we increase the pressure. So, because this is the big thing now, what I would say is, ignore what it says in the booklet.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
The correct sandwich that I've found is, basically, what you would do is, you go base plate.
Right.
Okay. Then you go C plate.
Right.
Then you go your card and your paper, and I always cut down.
Yes,
I cut down because you will get more pressure cutting downwards because the motor is up here at the top.
Right.
So the actual top roller is more is driven first. The bottom roller is driven on a gear.
Yeah.
And plus, you've got gravity helping you push down and a harder surface.
Plus, die cutting it's actually crushing.
It's crushing. It's pressing.
So if you think about it, everything that we crush down.
Yeah, you don't take a can and crush it against the ceiling. You crush it against the table.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So to me, that makes perfect sense, and I stick to it. But I've seen people say this, and I've seen people, and I'm not sure about the book because, quite frankly, I saw a T-shirt years ago where the guy said, you know, real men don't read instructions, and I wanted that T-shirt.
I'm a real man,
because I do not read instructions. I worked out what works for me, and I've got one plate at home, C plate at home, that's a little bit warped, and that's because I did B, card paper, C. Yeah. Put the C on the top, and it will warp. It's 3 mil, and it's over a large expanse. So base, C, card and paper and die, B on top. Okay. Yeah, and then you basically present that to your machine, and don't be, you know, artificial. Hello.
Hiya.
No. Tell it what it's got to do.
Yeah.
You see how well, you know how rough I treat this, and it's lasted. You know, if I haven't broken one, broken it in 2 years, I'm doing well. And you said the buttons are really good. And a lady said on social media that I read this morning, she said she loves the fact the buttons are really light touch. Yeah. They're almost like infrared, they're not like buttons. So you literally just press run and it will run through. And it doesn't shoot out with tons of pressure and go halfway across there. No. But, so we'll take this out, and again, this won't stop until I let the door close. So we'll check this. And there we go, look. So, this is parchment. None of these. So look, I don't even, I mean, this is like, I wish you could feel this. Because you would think, if I give you, that's not, it's not. No, it's not, is it? It's not what you'd think. It's not the cheapy vellum that I would normally use. That wasn't set up at all. That genuinely wasn't. When I passed you that and you were like, oh, yeah, you go. Then you went, oh, I could see, you know what, you saw exactly what I mean.
The thing is, I absolutely adore vellum and parchment and whatever. And I was like, I'm always after thicker, more durable, you know, like more sturdy parchments. And this one, this feels like, I don't know.
It's almost like it's
impressed.
plastic. It's lovely, isn't it?
I'm going to ask you later where you got it because it's like, I want some of
See
it.
how sensitive the buttons are? I literally knocked it with my finger. But you can't hurt anything because you can't get your hand in.
We have had a lovely email from one of our friends, of course, the lovely Karen, who was early on here. Hi, Paula and John, and of course, everyone in the gallery.
Karen.
So I'm going to say hello to Mark. This is saying hello to Marcus, Molly, and Hannah's in tech. Now, of course, me, I have got the Go Press, and I love it. A best electric machine I have ever had. You can nearly make this machine sing and we cannot promise you that. No, just saying. And can go forwards and backwards and then forwards again. Still on my original plates, despite getting a big sty stuck, which happened to be my own fault by using the wrong place, and never damaged my machine.
She used C&B, didn't she?
Yeah.
I know, Karen, you will have done.
Works as perfect now as when I bought it. You will have to pry it out of my dead hands for me to change to another die cutting machine. Have a great show. All my love, Karen Keats. Karen, thank you so much for your testimonial. And that's one more of the like 84 5-star reviews on the website. This is 84 people that love their Go Power and Emboss so much that they felt, that they had to leave that amazing, review. I think as a die cutting expert, John and myself, we have talked many times about what makes a good die cutting machine is the pressure, but also the ease of use, the reliability. Also the fact that you can use not only certain types of dies into here, the fact that you have got all the plates you need to say, and then you can buy replacements should you wish to do that, should you wish to have extra ones. For me though, the one thing that has really impressed me is the fact that you can add the Kaleido plates as well, which means of course that you can get a set of 2, and that speeds up the process of die cutting. So if you want to go for the full set of the Kaleido, then you can. And of course, having that button that kind of says go run means that you don't have to shiver, you don't have to just make it go through. You just press the button, let it run. If you want to reverse it, you do. I like this, they save, and I like, of course, that you have got now the exclusive ping, and that, of course, is exclusive to the craft store. Now, we have chosen this ping because, of course, it's another choice that we are giving you. Now, it's approaching 20% of the stock of the monthly mega deal. This is not a one-day special. No. We are celebrating that we have got now this exclusive color here at the craft store. Now, if you want it, make sure to check out your baskets. Once they are gone, they are gone. The fact that it's a monthly mega deal doesn't mean that it's going to last the full month. That is this kind of gives you an indication of the stock that we have got here in the warehouse. Which, by the way, that leads me to another thing. In the warehouse means that is immediate dispatch. There is no extended delivery. Ready to go, of course, with the UK plug. I just like the plug. But of course, that's important when we are talking about electrical machines. You know they work in this country. You don't have to worry about that. Now, if you want your amazing Go Power and Emboss, you have a FlexiBuy option. Remember, FlexiBuy makes it so much easier. We all are working in a budget. We all do. £46 and 66 pence would be the first payment, and of course makes it so much more affordable that you split the cost in interest-free payments. Now, also that means that, for instance, if you wanted to add the extra Kaleido plates in there, or maybe John's dies as well, those dies, add them to the basket, and then of course you can split the payment into interest-free payments as well, the same 3 payments as well. Now, of course, you can add the box, the beautiful dies. You can buy it on its own, or with the numbers. Ooh, that kind of makes me go like, ooh, funny. And of course, the card. Now, we need to see that also in action, because the glitter card is notoriously difficult to die cut, and we want to see how the Go Power and Emboss fares. But look at that. There you have the 3 mil plates. Then you have got the single, the 5 mil, and of course you have got the magnetic base should you wish to do so. As the die cutter, I would say I'm so impressed that a larger machine will take the smaller ones without having to put them lengthways or widthways. The fact that it's buttons, the fact that it runs so smoothly, the fact that you can use all those dies that you have got already, that means that, of course, if you are a mixed media artist, this is a die cutting machine for you. Now, we have had another question from Jeanette, and she's asking, she's loving the show, of course. John. And then, of course, she wants to check that reverse button function and how it works.
I can show you that, certainly. So
Perfect.
Just want to show you this first.
Oh, yes.
But I will show you the reverse, right. So I did this one, but the deboss lines weren't really crisp enough for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I didn't quite fold it right. So whilst everything cut, nothing cut through, everything worked, the deboss lines weren't quite crisp enough.
Right.
And I've always said this, you get an embossing mat in here.
Yeah.
But life is too short for embossing a die. And with a good machine, it's sort of like, you know, it's like preaching, isn't it?
Yeah.
But with a good machine, you shouldn't need to emboss the die. So all I'm going to do is I just want to slightly increase the pressure.
Right.
So this is where I'm going to use my metal shim on top. So I put that on top, B on top, so it's still base, C, same vellum. Yeah. Yeah. I've only got one sheet left, which I think you're going to nick off me, aren't you?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Or parchment.
Well impressed.
Metal shim and your B plate, and this will add a little bit more pressure, but it will still, this is the clever thing with this machine. It won't force those deboss lines to cut because it's too good. So if I want to bring it back, watch, press, reverse.
Reverse.
No stop, no pause, nothing silly.
And also the sound of it, it's not that loud, is it?
No.
For as die cutting machines, electrical die cutting machines are not, we're not shouting.
No, what we should do actually is I should grab a new one. You have got a new display one here. I should grab that one and show you the difference, because don't forget, again, this is 2 years old.
Well, but
so this might actually be a little bit noisier.
Oh, but...
Mainly, but I throw it in, I don't think the camera can see this. I have a massive case here.
Yeah.
Oh, we can sort of. Okay, now the machine will not fit in it this way down.
Yeah.
Okay, so the machine will not fit that way, as you can imagine. So I have to put it in that way. Yeah. And it sits in this bottom section, and that gets thrown about in my car. So that's how badly I treat it. So, you know, even at that point,
again,
it's
I
not.
will say it again. I used to work with a die-cutting machine manufacturer, well, two of them actually, but the first ones. So I did talk a lot about with the engineers that made that machine, that designed one, and it's a flagship machine, and you know, it's a great machine. However, it is manual, and of course, it has got its issues. It's not that big or whatever. One of the things that I remember the engineering talking to me about it was the fact that it's almost like from an engineering point of view, it's a miracle that that there are die cutting machines, kind of that they go over. But when he was saying, but my mind can't go around the fact that an electric cutting machine will offer you the same pressure. These dies, the dies that you can use in the Go Power Emboss are exactly the same dies that you can use in the manual machine, and you are going to get the best results as well without having to do any force, because that's the other thing. My mother, for instance, she does have a i4 manual die cutting machine, and she has to buy new plates very often because she does a lot of jewelry, she does a lot of different materials and things like that. But also she's like, Paula, I'm reaching an age where my arm hurts. My arm really hurts when turning the wheel. Not only the one that turning the wheel, but also holding like this, like with the hand. Also, the other thing that her issue, and this is an issue that I have had in the past as well, is what I call the real estate that takes on your table. Those are my bigger machines that take a lot more space on your table. This is not everybody has. My mother doesn't have it. And of course, she's like, every time that she has to take it out, it's kind of hurts. This, you cannot have it on your desk. And I'm going to say, it's about, I would say, about 9 inches from side to side. So it's not like that's 12, 13, 14 inches that takes a die cutting machine in A4. This still has got that. Can you see how everything is shaking, but the machine isn't? Because this is the power, the stability, the metal innards of the die cutting machine. You are getting a fabulous die cutting machine, and you have the only choice that, well, there's 2 questions that you need to ask yourself. One, what color? Where you are going to go for an exclusive pink. Of course, this is the only place that you are going to see that beautiful blush pink there that you can see. I love it because it's there, but it's just subtle, beautiful. Or you're going to go for the classic gold. Now, whichever option you're getting an exceptional machine, A4, which will allow you to cut all your deep dish dies, your bakes, your spellbinders, your accucutter, and then you are getting also 2 embossing folders. They are the same on both machines, so of course it's not a choice of the designs but the color. You are getting a very useful dots, and of course that beautiful lattice, and then you are getting the dies, the wafer thin dies with essential dies, with the numbers, with the borders, with the tags, with the bicycle, and of course you are getting those beautiful kind of flower rosettes in there. Now the second question that you need to answer is whether you are going to pay one-off payment or split the cost into 3 interest-free payments. Now Molly in my ear is like, she will split it. You know what? I would too, because then it means that you pay £46.66 today, especially if you're a Freedom member, you don't pay PMP. And then even better, it opens a flexi-buy basket of 3 interest-free payments. So immediately I'm adding the Kaleidos extra plates, because that means that expands the possibilities as well. Maybe then you can add the dye brush, dye cleaner blush, and then of course the as well, let me show, oh yeah, there we have it, this new bundle that we have put for you. So we have got the dye brush in here, and of course the glue residue eraser, which is fabulous, especially if you are an artist and you want to get rid of things, or you have glued something and then die cut it or things like that. That will work really well for you. And then of course, because it's a flexi-buy basket, that £9.99, you're not paying £9.99 today. You would be paying £3.33 today. That's because it's splitting everything into 3 payments, because you are getting the Go Power and Emboss. Now, remember, the pink is exclusive to the craft store. And of course, this is the lowest price that we could find online. So of course, you have got a £10 saving there. 880-282 is your item number. Not for the one that's special, but monthly mega deal. Back to you, John.
Right, so that's the one I've just made with using the increased pressure. See how much crisper the lines are than this one?
Right.
See how they've not quite folded as well? I haven't used a bone folder on this. I've just used my finger and but look, not one of those is cracking, because the pressure is right where it needs to be. The dye helps, having the good quality dye. I'm going to give it a thing of, having a good quality dye makes a difference.
But then also the fact that this machine will take, every dye company that you have tested, so a variety of those.
Every dye I've ever bought from any company has gone through here. There hasn't been a single, apart from there is a small range of 12 by 12 dyes.
Yes, which are very rare to find.
Extremely rare. When I was looking for them, I was able to, I bought 3 in my lifetime. I had the machine, the 12 by 12, because I've had nearly every machine on the market, even the 12 by 12. I have bought at some point.
I'm very, very lucky, because I used to work for the company that used to manufacture those ones. And I have got about 10 of those ones, and I keep them. They're amazing, but of course they are 12 by 12, so I never use them.
I gave mine away with that machine because I wasn't impressed with that machine.
No, of course, we remember that the Go Power and Emboss has 84 5-star reviews, and people like her and kids. And also, can I mention, I hope my friend Julia doesn't get, she's kind of buying one of them. I know that she is, because she was, as soon as she knew
that they were... That's who I was talking about. That's who I messaged yesterday to say they're in the warehouse.
So, and I know somebody else who works very closely with her that was inquiring.
Yes, yes, I'm aware of that one as well. So what I've done here, I want to show you the struggles, and I'm going to show you the difference, but I want to show you, this is that vellum again.
Yeah.
This is one of the snowflake dies, or 2 of the snowflake dies from the from my Advent pop box. But look.
Oh, I thought that you hadn't cut.
No,
I was thinking, John.
I'm not going to. I've got to be honest. I've not tested these. I know what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to sit at home with lots of different materials, and lots of different dyes, and all the demos I'm going to do, I've got to know that, right, that dye will work with that, and that one will, genuinely, what I've brought, if you normally, behind me are packs in plastic of all the demos I've got prepped. I haven't, I've got dyes there, dyes here, and here, I have a wodge of different fabrics and materials and papers.
Which leads us to
because I know that there's nothing
Nothing.
I've put on this that hasn't done it.
Yeah. You have complete trust into this. Now, that's a very good question. A question from Debbie, I believe it is. She loves the show, of course, John.
Oh, thank you, Debbie.
And she is asking the flower shaping molds from Heartfelt.
Yes.
Of course, because the rule of thumb for those molds is if it has got a wide, deep plate, it will go through.
It will.
Like,
what you would do for the flower molds is you would use a C plate.
Yeah.
I would try, I believe it's a C plate and then a second C plate.
Okay.
Which obviously you don't get a second C
Yeah.
plate in there, but the Kaleido 3mm plate will work.
Yes, because they are the sort of
So
size.
rather than, if you can't get hold of a second C plate, you can use the 3mm plates which come in the pairs for the Kaleido, or any 3mm plate you've got at home. Yeah, I believe things like the raspberry plate.
Okay, yeah.
For the Spellbinders machine.
Or the tonic,
or for the raspberry plate for the tonic.
Yeah.
Is it the...
A tangerine.
It's the tangerine, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Grand caliber with an orange case.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. We know our machines. So you would just use 2 C plates or your C plate and a 3mm plate, and you would run that through. And this is the fab thing. I'm going to show you with a different Biggs die now. So I'll show you with the fabric one, because this would be the same.
Absolutely.
So this, if you look, would be exactly the same width and everything as your Heartfelt Creations. Thing.
I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember.
This is some Moda fabric. Oh, just honestly.
Oh, that's
it's Moda brushed cotton. It's beautiful. I really shouldn't be using this. I really, really shouldn't. Well, I get 2 out of that one. So this is actually no. So we'll just do one. This is actually. I think this is like an Eileen Hull quilting die.
Yeah.
So this would be exactly the same, similar size to your flower mould. So see on the bottom, your flower mould, or in this case I've got a fabric die. Your fabric or your material would be inside your mould that you want to do. And literally, I can get away with this because there's no sensors. So that should not work.
Yeah.
If you look at that, if you look at that, you look at most of the other machines on the market, that should not work because that cannot engage. Look, different heights, but there we go.
I'm just very impressed.
That shouldn't happen.
That means that you, of course, you can get a smaller, hence cheaper plates.
Yes,
the kaleidoscope. Yeah, and also the other thing is quicker and it's easier. But also, I will repeat it, and I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but you know.
There's my 3.
Die cutting is all about getting the best cut. And for that, sometimes you need to have different materials. So therefore, you need to have specific dies. The fact that you can trust this machine to deal with those dies, to deal with those materials, to deal with the most intricate of dies, with the most of the thicker, bolder shapes as well. I love that. I love that it has the power to cut and emboss it. And then you're thinking, Paula, every die cutting machine will have that power. No.
They don't. They don't. And it's awful because we can't stand here and say, well, I bought X and then I binned it because it didn't.
Yeah, no.
That's a discussion we would have. But as both people who've been die cutting in the industry, I mean, you've been a lot longer than me. You know, everybody, it's like I say, but everybody says, no, because I'm older than you, but everybody, you know, everyone says, oh, this is the best machine, everything. We've tried loads of them, and they aren't all the same, and they don't all cut and emboss the same way.
And I also like the way that you said it. You're like, you don't come in here and you say, oh, this is the best machine ever. It's the best for you, who are, like I mentioned, the person I know, and I know lots of die cutters out there, a lot of professional die cutters that does put the machines through his spaces the most. And the fact that you will use different dies that have been designed by a lot of different people, like you have die using Biggs dies, but you also have you know, mixed media dies or quilting dies by Haley, or my dies that you have trusted. That for me says that you have got complete faith in this machine.
Yeah, because each of those are made a different way.
Exactly.
Each one, because of the different jobs and the design is a different way. that each one is a different way to do it. And it's one of the things that I mention on my shows with when I'm designing and selling my dies or giving people information on my dies. I have them made, I break the rules, as you know. You know the 3 mil rule. You don't have two lines closer than 3 mil on the die. Yes, I do. And I do.
You push them. Yeah.
But I never worry because it's always cut every time it's worked. What I was going to do is, if you don't mind, I'm going to swap in the new one so you can see if they can hear a difference between them.
I love that John has started the show with his 2-year-old die cutting machine. So you know that not only cuts well from the first day, but in 2 years' time. If you're going to put your machine through John's paces, basically the amount of die cutting that he does,
that's 10 years for most.
Yeah, I'm going to say. Cutting, even more than I do. But we have got another email. And by the way, if you have got any questions for John throughout the 24 hours, please make sure to email us in at studio@thecraftstore.com. Hi, John and Paula. We had to say the Go Power and Emboss is the best A4 die cutting machine on the market, in Yvonne's opinion, of course. After trying a well-known other and nearly taking my finger ends off their sharp plates, we all know which one is meaning. I was thinking maybe die cutting wasn't for me. John is so honest and trustworthy. Yeah, he's very honest. He is very honest. Trust me, he's very honest. And trustworthy that I decided to buy this machine. I also have the Kaleido, another great smaller machine, and I thank John as true to his words. I can now die cut with ease and confidence, and the plates don't cut your fingers. That's a very good point. You know, we don't want that. Thank you for sourcing the best machines, products, designers, and demonstrators, not to mention the fabulous presenters who deserve a mention. Thank you, Yvonne.
Aww.
I think you mentioned everybody else in that one. Thank you, all the love, Yvonne. Thank you so much for your lovely email. Yvonne, I completely agree. There is lots of qualities to John, but honesty is definitely up there. And bluntness, when he's like, you say it as it is. I say it
as it is. Yeah, I don't just call a spade, I call it a bleeping shovel. As a friend once said to me, so you don't just call a spade, you call it a blinking, we'll say, shovel. Oh. And it's true, I don't see the point because I'm a crafter as you're a crafter, you know. I came in today to find out that my parcel was left at the warehouse an hour before I got here. So I've got goodies when I get home that I've bought. I buy like everybody. Really good point you said there, Yvonne. Please don't do this at home. But this is the metal shim, and this is not a new one in a packet. No. This is mine, and this will make people cringe, but this will not cut you.
I cannot look.
Okay? This is chamfered edges. Just like the one on, just like the Kaleido ones. I know, I'm sorry, but I don't want people to be afraid of using the metal shim because they're terrified of it cutting yourself. It's not going to. But this is the machine, this is a new machine, yeah? So this is the in-store one, isn't it, that you have to demo here with. So, and I had the choice of if I want to use this. So, literally, there's no difference in noise.
There is no difference in noise.
And we'll show there's no difference in pressure, particularly between this one.
Look at that. And it's,
so this is exactly the same. There we go.
And look at that.
And I did 2 layers this time. So exactly the same with a brand new, you know, 2-week-old machine. No offence, but I don't need you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show.
I'm quite happy with my 2-year and a bit old machine, thank you.
Can I show also the box? Because I really think that this would be an amazing present for somebody when it's in the box, and of course in the exclusive pink in here as well. Look how pretty, how beautiful, with some inspiration as well. Remember, it comes with dies and of course embossing folders. So maybe it's for a new person, a new crafter, maybe somebody who has got into paper crafting, or maybe some mixed media, and you want to thinking, well, they have got maybe a smaller machine, and you want now an A4. This makes a lovely present. And a special present. I mean, it's a considered purchase. However, we are making it easier for you by, of course, giving you 3 flexi payments option. Now, you can choose whether you want a one-off payment or 3, split it into 3. It's interest-free, so you are not paying any more by splitting the cost. You also have that £10 saving whether you do one-off payment or not. And remember, this is the brand new exclusive color, this beautiful blush pink that you can see. I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see a little bit more of that pink in the edges. Look at that. I like it that it's a subtle, pretty in pink there that you have. And of course, that is exclusive to the craft store. Now, remember, it is a monthly mega deal now, but very, very busy, of course, especially for the pink option. And we have done some research, and this is the lowest price we could find online, of course. So make sure to check out your baskets and just choose whichever color you want. Maybe you are a classic gold person, so the gold is your favorite, so you want, or maybe you want to have whatever John has, and therefore you go for the gold one. But maybe you want to go with the pink.
I will upgrade mine when they do a blue one,
or
a grey one.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the thing is, I will say one thing. I've never been one of these people that will buy a machine because of the color. No. But then when you have got the choice, it's great to have.
Yeah.
And then you kind of think.
I'm going to say, and I'll say something I won't get shouted at here for, but I would elsewhere. If you've got this and you've got this in gold, you don't have to order the pink one. It's no different.
No, it's not different.
It's just a different colour.
Honestly,
so, you know, when people say, oh, you want to collect them all,
yes.
no, you don't. You need one and it works.
Unless you're John and you need 5 of them, and then you want to have, which one is which?
2.
Yes.
In constant. I have this one which goes to and from and all the shows with me.
Yeah.
I have one that sits on my desk at home, so I have 2 of these. I also have a 3rd and a 4th which sit ready for workshops when they start again.
You did say
but
that.
I bought every single one of those.
And this is the thing, like the amount of people that message me because it's like kind of demonstrates, like, oh, do you know when is the date? When are they back? Because we missed out the last time or whatever. And this is the thing, we are talking about professional demonstrators who use die cutting as, you know, it's their living. I will tell you one thing as well. Once you become like somebody like John, like Julia, we were saying that is constantly die cutting, a reliable machine makes life livable.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise you can, the hand cranking ones, it's fine, but you don't have the time, do you?
For the Kaleido, I use that all the time, but for manual. But when it comes to A4, this is what I want. Yeah. Have you got? Now somebody's asked a question about the embossing mat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I've got here is I've just set up an embossing sandwich, and what you'll find is if you can see this to a lesser or greater extent, can you see that stretching?
Yes.
It's like chewing gum. It's made of rubber.
Ooh,
it's going to stretch and it's going to move, and if you look now, look, it's moved and tracked. Yeah. And if you increase the pressure, so the correct, because I don't emboss dies, but I emboss dies to create patterns like embossing folders or quilts with them.
You can do letterpress.
So you can do your letterpress, but I don't know if you can.
There you hold it there.
There we go. So that sandwich is base plate, the thick rubber mat you get with it, card, dies. Such a shame I haven't got any Mica Magic on me. Card, dies, B plate, run it through. If it stretches itself out like a piece of chewing gum, don't worry, it's absolutely fine.
Thank you so much. Diane, it says email in. We'll try to read, of course, those emails at 8 p.m. when John is back with Scott. Do check out your baskets. I'll see you and after the break. Thank you so much, John. We'll see you at 8 p.m. And of course, stay